Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the ABS show, coming to you straight from where?
New York City!
If this is your very first time on the show, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and after the show, go on Instagram and follow us at the ABS show. Right. Throughout the show, you can join in on the conversation by dropping your comments below. We love your comments. Ms. Spitfire, what are we talking about today?
Talking about domestic violence. A recent photo emerged of a Nigerian woman disfigured by her husband. According to the interview, the woman says she is still in love with her husband despite all he has done to her. The readers went crazy, the viewers went mad. Why would you be with your husband? You have to leave him. So the question today is, do we blame abused partners for staying in their abusive relationships?
Do we blame them?
Do we blame them?
Ooh, that's a tough one, guys.
We definitely.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say we don't blame them because we know that it's also, you know, what do you call it? They're used to it, and this is what they think means love. Love does not hurt. That's one of the biggest things somebody taught me. Like when I was in a relationship,
love does not hurt.
Love doesn't hurt.
You think so?
Love is not supposed to hurt. Love is supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to make you happy, and especially in Nigeria, where 1 in 4 women in Nigeria are reportedly in partner domestic violence issue. That's a huge ratio, and we know that Africa systematically has been known to put women down. And when women complain, even the police are laughing at you. Right. They're not even taking you seriously. So it's either, and some of them are not also at home moms. So who's going to take care of them if they do leave? What happens then if they have children in the relationship? So it's like, do I stay and deal with this beating, or do I go and don't know what's going to be out there for me?
You're speaking the narrative, right? Not what you think, right?
Yeah, because you say you don't blame her.
Right?
What do you mean?
You say you don't blame her.
What you just said, you're speaking like their narrative, like what they think that makes them stay back in the relationship or in the marriage.
Anybody, when you stay in something because you're comfortable. That's with anybody. That's with any relationship. Relationship that we stay in where somebody might have cheated on us or somebody may have done something that's not right. It's because you're comfortable there.
I don't find that though.
Depending. It's
really sad, and this is a universal thing. It's not just. It's very universal. I was really disappointed when somebody that I know actually said she's very attracted to aggressive men. And I'm like, what is the world going into right now? And it's just got me thinking that most women, with due respect, I feel like, are confused. When you ask them, like, what kind of man do you want? Like, I want a nice man, I want this, I want that. And at the end of the day, when they see nice people or see nice men doing beautiful stuff for them, they feel like wait, he doesn't really have drama around him. He's not aggressive. He doesn't beat me. He doesn't shout at me. He doesn't scold me. And I'm beginning to doubt if the love is real. So in this case, I'm actually going to blame the woman. Are you going to be in there till he kills you and take you to the grave before you get out? Simply because you're considering the factors of suffering. Who's going to pay my bills? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? How will I go back to my parents' house and bear the shame from other single women?
Do you
know anybody personally that this has happened
you sound
to?
very passionate. They beat your sister.
No.
It's not a joke.
No, it's the person I spoke about, who love aggressive men, actually is in a relationship. A friend, in a relationship, going through so many things and everything. And I'm like, why are you there? I mean, he's not abusive or anything, but the thing is, he keeps, cheating, keeps doing all sorts of things. And I'm like, why are you there?
Okay, I'm going to address it like this. Yeah. In that context, it's a bit different. Cheating is not the same as domestic violence.
Exactly.
I'm talking about physical, psychological, verbal abuse in a relationship.
But cheating on somebody can affect them psychologically.
But when you beat,
part of it.
And that's emotional abuse.
Can I finish?
Well,
when you beat somebody to a pulp, as we've seen on TV, on the screen with this lady, is a whole different ball game. Now you ask, why would you stay there? Are you comfortable? You're scared for somebody. You're unable to pay your bills. It goes a little deeper than that. Some of them have been brainwashed to think it's okay.
Absolutely.
Some of them they've been cajoled to think, oh, he can change. A man who's not always aggressive, who sometimes is aggressive, but then he comes around around and he begs you after he's done this to you, he'll come back and tell you, I'm so sorry, I love you, I don't know what got over me. 2 months later, he's pounding you again. When people talk, you weigh the good with the bad. You're like, oh, you know what, he's not all that bad. He's been nice. You know what, I forgive him. He said he was sorry, he's not going to do it again. But you fall into a cycle.
Common sense, man.
It's not common sense.
You can't,
bro.
It's not common sense. It's not that simple.
This is more than common sense. This is a psychological
People
thing.
die in this situation.
Okay,
Listen.
Let me tell you.
People still die for leaving. People have left and the husbands have come back and beat them and killed them.
Exactly.
So women have left, picked up their stuff and
So
gone.
are we making an excuse for her?
No, we're not making an excuse. We're addressing it. We're addressing it psychologically. You said it's a global thing, yes, but in the Western world, it's minimized. Why? Because the rights of women is high here. Let's not forget that in Africa, the rights of women is not really much pushed to the front. Well, we're getting there right now. So it's all about awareness, education as well. Because if you know your right as a woman, you will not just fall prey to stuff like that all the time. Women don't have rights. She said something about when you go to the police, they laugh at you. Madam, get out of here, not be your husband. When you go to the police to report that something like this happened, the first thing they ask you is, Madam, what do you do?
I have a first
meaning
account
that they're already blaming you for it.
I have a first experience account on that incident, that scenario you just painted. I have a friend, and I'm going to name names because I was hurt when, I'm going to name names when I was hurt when this happened. Ola and my friend Sheyi, both of them are friends. They're my friends. They were dating. Sheyi and Ola had a misunderstanding. He was trying to talk to her. They got into a scuffle. He pushed her on a road that had like, you know, those pointy rocks. She fell and bruised her leg. Bruised. It was gushing of blood. It was close to Afanka police station in Shasha, Egbeda, Lagos State. It was close by there. She walked into the police and said, "Look at what this man did to me. Do you know what men and women, it's like 12:30 in the morning. Do you know what the men and female police in that station said? Now you cause some. Interpretation, it's your fault. Why would he beat you? You did something wrong. Or God, did you push her? You see this woman crying with blood gushing down her legs. And you're asking her that, what did you do for you to deserve this? You must have done something wrong. He then says, she was cheating on me. The only thing she did was she didn't want to go home with him. Because they were having a fight. They've been in a relationship for like years. And this is not the first time she would experience such. I got mad on her behalf and I told them, you cannot be with this, you can't be with this man. You have to leave. You know what she said to me? I'm done. 2 weeks later.
She's back.
Yes. And I was the enemy. I was the enemy because now they're looking at me like a home wrecker, like I'm trying to break up their home. So this is just one scenario. You can imagine how their mind works. You're saying you're done because you see death in her future. You see harm in her future. She's not saying that. She's saying a man who's repentant of his sin, who will come back and tell her, baby, I'm sorry, I love you. I was just provoked. It wasn't my fault. I had something happen to me. It goes on and on. So when you're saying common sense, it's not common sense.
Well, there's a lot of factors that cause a woman like this to stay in an abusive relationship, and we're going to get into that.
Absolutely.
But going back to Mac's point, if you stay in an abusive relationship, if you stay in it, just know that you are normalizing the situation. So who are we going to blame? We're going to blame everybody, and you're also going to take some fault in it as well. The entire blame is not going to be on you, because if you know better, you do better. So most of these women don't know any better. They put fear into them. These men put a lot of fear into them. They believe it's normal. They believe, okay, my grandmother went through this. My mother went through this. I'm going through this. It's become a pathology where somebody needs to break that. You know, some of them also feel embarrassed to come out and tell their story. Because somebody like Max, I'm not trying to point you out, you're going to say it's common sense, and victimize them. So they won't come out with their story. Them look stupid. Exactly. Some of them also have low self-esteem. So it's deeper than what we see.
Also, it's those that are raised like that, because our society encourages you to ignore the fact that you're being abused. The way we're raised, women, you're supposed to be submissive to the man. When the man talks to you a certain kind of way, or he hurts you, you go to your family members, they tell you, well, are you going to leave your home because of that little misunderstanding? Go back to your house, without actually addressing the situation, the elephant in the room, which is the domestic violence. They normalize it already. The society that we're in the African society normalizes domestic violence,
Yeah.
which is why it's so great that now we have all this uprising against it now.
Right.
So actually, to respond to you guys and Timani, like I'm not oblivious of the fact that there are certain factors around this. You feel me? So sometimes when I made the statement common sense, your mind, your spirit, your intuition is telling you, talking to you, but you're ignoring it simply because you've placed people, you've placed society.
Are you ignoring
Hold on.
Okay.
You've placed. Oh, what will people say that I've left my husband's house? Or I've left whatever. How will people look at it? Like I'm not respond. What would like? I'm not. That's the factor basically. So now I'm not like being ignorant or being oblivious of the fact that there are factors surrounding it. If the society or the police or the justice system or the law, whatever, is not there yet, especially for Africa, this is where the family has to be very supportive.
Which do we know?
Your mother, yes, your mother, your father, or even your friend or your siblings. Have somebody to talk to who can actually help, in getting you out of there. So, sorry, I'm not oblivious of the fact that there are factors surrounding this. I'm not ignorant of the fact. I know that some people have that nudge. They have that, I need to get out of it, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
And they need help on how to
Even
go
people
about
that
it.
do have support systems. For instance, let me play devil's advocate because we know that women abuse men too, right?
That's
It's
right.
something that we don't talk about much. Here.
Absolutely.
Daddy Freeze. He was in a relationship before the relationship he's in now, where his wife was beating him and was they were going through a lot of abusive situations. This is somebody that's in the public eye, that's a spiritual mentor that has all of the support in the world, but he himself was stuck in this relationship till he was able to get out of it to move on. So no matter what the factors are, right? There's a lot of factors that lead to you leaving or staying in an abusive relationship. But basically what we have to do is make sure that we have resources available for when the person is ready.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
You know? Talking about resources, if you're in Nigeria, there is Project Alert Violence Against Women in Nigeria. There is Media Concerns Initiative, Marable Center, Office of the Public Defender. So some of these, now I'm really glad that Nigeria is starting to build resources in different channels for women and men to go and talk to if abuse happens, because we already know the police force to be like, Madam, go in the house.
Our viewers are also from all over the world, so if you're going through something like this and you know anybody that's going through something like this, we're going to leave the National Domestic Violence Hotline number as well. There are so many factors. I think culture plays a big part of it, and also religion.
Yes.
My people. Because people would rather stay in an abusive relationship than get a divorce.
Because
What will
religion
people
says
say?
forgive and forget.
It's not even that, because God frowns upon divorce.
Yes.
But for me and for the Christians out there, God doesn't want you to be beaten every night.
Not the Pando Yam, no.
So go if you need to go get a divorce, go get it. Nobody's gonna judge you. The church needs to not judge people that get divorced, because it's worse than getting divorced. Than not even getting married at all.
Let me ask you guys, what are the signs to look out for?
There's a lot, yes, definitely.
What are the signs?
abusive.
Let's educate our viewers. What are the signs for you to pick up on the fact that you're being abused? Because some people don't understand. When they're being abused, they don't know that they're being abused. So what signs do they look out for you to identify the fact that you're being domestically abused in your home?
Well, for all, whether domestic or emotional, whatever kind of abuse, I would think that the very first sign is the lady or the guy's just going to be a loner. You don't have any friends. You don't. There's a lot of it.
But what I really notice is fear. When you have a friend that is so scared of the partner.
Okay, so let him finish, because he was saying something. I need you to finish with your point, with the signs, and we can move on.
The signs, the person basically is a loner, doesn't have any friends, doesn't relate with people, social gatherings, you're not always there. And let's say, for example, maybe in church or wherever, and they're having a meeting, and they're always asking, well, I didn't see you. Oh, yeah, I was busy at home. And whenever you see them in public, they're not really looking, like you can tell that something is off. So they like isolation.
The answer you gave is not to the question I asked. The question was, what are the signs that you, the person who's being abused, can look out for to identify the fact that you're being abused?
Okay. So I feel most times you're suppressed. Your emotions are suppressed. You don't have a voice at home. You don't have a say. Now remember, it just different kind of abuse. It could be domestic, it could be emotional, whatever kind of abuse, You are suppressed most of the times. You're living in fear.
Right.
You're living in fear. You're the fear of the unknown. He's unpredictable. She's unpredictable. You don't know what he or she is going to do at a particular time. You're not comfortable. You're not comfortable. You're always, like
Tensed.
fidget and you're
Right.
tensed. Like it's almost you're supposed to have rest at home, but once you come home, you're hypertensive on your own. Like nothing. You're just like emotionally unstable.
Some other
Timani, what
signs
are
are.
some-
I was going to say another sign is also the person cuts you off from your family and your friends.
Right.
They take your
Isolation.
phone.
Yeah.
They take your connection to computer. They don't want you to really be social or be out. You're very stuck to a time to be there. Be there at a certain time. Make sure that you're there. They're also they really also make you dress a certain way sometimes. They don't want you to be outwardly attractive to the world because they want to control you. Those are some of the signs. And also the person talks to you out of if no matter what, they'll talk to you in ways that are really, really detrimental and also demeaning to you as a person.
Right.
Also, they restrict your finances.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
when you
Big
have money,
one.
you
Yeah.
have power.
Big one.
They restrict your finances and make sure that you need everything that you need. You have to come through
to
them to
them.
get it.
That's right.
So they control your eating, your dressing up,
Yeah.
everything that you do. They control your finances particularly.
Yeah.
So they might tell you to stop your job or come to your job and beat you up and embarrass you, make sure that you lose your job, and then tell you you don't need to work, you should be a full-time housewife, so that they can monitor when you move, where you go to. And even when you're going to the market, they put you on timer. When you go to drop the children off at school, they put you on timer as well. It's funny, right? There are people that are going
Yeah,
through
people
it.
going through it.
Timani, what do you think some of the signs are?
I feel like I was gonna say fear, but I still believe fear is one of the major signs. And when you dread your home, when you don't want to come back home every time, like you're looking at the clock and it's about that time for you to go home and you feel so depressed, like, oh my God, I'm going back to this. That means you're living in fear and you're already in an abusive relationship.
When he travels and you hear the sign of relief.
Right.
Or when she travels and you hear the sign of relief. When you hear the car horn outside and your heart go bing bing. Hey, that started though. Hey, this man's going. What will I now do?
Yeah.
He comes in, he wants to eat. You don't know what to give him. You put water down and he's looking at you like. When you start to dread the person that you'll be pretty much. If everything I do doesn't make you smile or make you happy, then you know that there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
If he might, first of all, now the early onset signs are he starts to pin it on job. Work was kind of terrible outside, so he lashed out on
Make
you.
excuses.
He starts to make
Transfer
excuses.
aggression, so
But
all
then
the
he starts
time.
to progress.
Yeah.
It starts to get worse. And then he doesn't even give you any excuses anymore as to why he wants to pound on you. He just doesn't like the way your face
Listen,
looks.
I am not licensed in this, but based on the experiences of others, and I'm going to use even R. Kelly as an example, what they do
Not
is...
R. Kelly.
Oh,
Great
yes.
example. Great
What
example.
they do is they start to groom you.
Yes.
So they start
Yes.
to tell you all these things. Nobody loves you.
No.
I'm the only person that loves you.
Right.
So they make everything your fault. You made me do it.
Manipulation.
Right.
That word, you made me do it.
Yeah.
It starts to play, very in your mindset that you are the problem. So that we have to really look at that. And also, I don't know, this is not really popular, but immigration status, I feel like, can cause it.
Especially in African
right?
communities.
Because in the
Yeah.
African community here in the
Yes.
diaspora, a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
get into marriages, into relationships
Yes.
to get immigration status.
Yes.
Now I'm beating the out of you, and you can't go anywhere because
cheating
guess
on
what?
you.
Yeah.
And cheating on
Because
you,
I worked in
calling
HIV
you
prevention.
names, slapping you around,
Yeah.
taking your phone
Yes.
away,
Yeah.
and you can't go anywhere because guess what? You need me.
Yes.
For that visa, you need me for that green card. So people stay in relationship because of that.
Yes.
And also for me, I was looking at this thing. How do you then leave a relationship, an abusive relationship, when you are depending on that person physically? So somebody may be disabled,
Yes,
they can't
yeah.
walk or anything, and you depend on somebody
To help.
you.
Yeah.
In situations like that, I feel like you said, the helplines, the numbers, you have to call. You have to call, no matter what. Even if you're disabled, you have to call for help because
Hey.
he's gonna beat you and kill you.
Timani, it's like you don't know what domestic violence. That's somehow you can't
They're
make
taking
a
the
phone
phone. You are about to die 911, you die 9910.
If you call,
You'll be confused.
even when you dial, if you're able to call a number
Right.
and they respond, they come to the house, they will discharge them. I mean, you're disabled, you can't really move. You can't. If you're blind, you can't really move around. If you're in a wheelchair, you can't really walk. Who's going to answer the door?
So
Maybe
the
it's
person
me.
should
fact-
just say
in
their
fact-
last prayer.
Wait, let me
no,
even
no,
tell
no.
you something. There was a video I saw online, regarding the whole I think it was like a relationship, So this guy has been really brutal to this girl. So she had to convince him they should go to the hospital.
Vet.
The vet.
The vet sick that
You
dog.
saw that
Tell
clip,
the story.
right?
Yes, I saw it.
that video
So
too.
he convinced the boyfriend, taking the vet to the hospital. So they go there together.
Okay.
And then she reaches out to the receptionist or something, just leaves a note about the abuse.
Yes.
And slid it to the receptionist.
That was smart.
And
Yes.
they read it and just, coined
Acted
out
like
a
everything was
delay.
normal, yes.
Delayed, just acted everything like everything was normal. They were just delaying the whole process, called the police.
He had a gun.
Yeah, he had a gun as well
Wow.
too. Yeah. Until the police came right in and took the guy. That was how
Yes.
the girl got out of that situation. So
That was
you know,
smart.
There are
sometimes
ways.
yeah,
That's what you
there are
mean.
ways.
Actually,
Yeah,
I
you have
actually
to
saw
be
a good
smart.
Nollywood movie where the woman actually filmed him. I don't know what's the name of that movie.
It was a movie by Mina.
Yes.
Yeah, it
He
was a
was
movie.
filming-
Rosemary's
Rosemary's Revenge.
She actually
yeah.
set him up to
Yeah.
film him. And that is kind of the way.
Rosemary's own.
What is that?
What movie?
No, I'm
is
just
that?
we need to remember
it's
that
a domestic
movie.
violence movie
Rosemary's
that
Fight.
was based in
I think it's
Nigeria.
Rosemary's Fight. Mary's
That was
Fight,
based
something
in
like that.
Nigeria, and it showed the woman taking back her power by filming him and using it against. Because the thing about it is, sometimes you have to stack your evidence against these people
Yeah.
Right.
because it's your word against theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you get them back?
Yeah.
And how do you make sure that you're saving yourself?
Yeah.
And also self-defense.
Yeah.
Knowing that if a man is about to attack you and it's only you and him, think about ways that you could take him down so you could run out the house.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Another
Because
thing, proper education, of these people, educate these women, educate these men. Now,
What exactly are we educating them on? Because this woman,
okay.
what exactly are we educating
On the,
them on?
Yeah, for
we're
example-
trying to let them know that domestic violence is not a norm.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have been programmed to
Yes.
believe that it's a norm and they think everything is their fault. Like this lady that says she still loves the man, whatever.
So we need lesson on love.
Yeah.
What
Right.
love
Wow.
is.
What
So like I
love
was
is,
saying,
exactly.
Unpack that
like
for
I
me.
was
Love does
saying,
not hurt.
I really love what Glitterati, spoke about. In Africa right now, phones are everywhere. We were just talking about Rwanda producing phones.
Right.
Phones are everywhere. Your phone is not just for you to be doing social media and Snapchatting and stuff like that. No, if you're in an abusive relationship, please take time to record. It could be sometime that you guys are having an argument. Just put the voice note on and just toss it one side. If he's beating you, make that sound. If she's beating you as well as a man, make that sound. Yeah, my guy. Yeah. Just do everything that you gotta do and keep those evidences in your phone. It's not just for social media. All right. And then the agencies that you read out, the agencies that he read out as well, especially back home in Africa. Like you said, Simani, women have, certain level of power in the Western world. So in Africa, Chimamanda is really doing a great job, as a feminist, Yeah, so educating women all over the world in Africa.
Men too.
And men as well, too.
All those evidences.
So please,
All those evidences doesn't mean diddly squat. If the person that you're building up a case, helping to build a case against,
power.
doesn't even want it. This woman said she still loves her husband. The advocates that wanted to jump in and help her they had to retract their offers because she doesn't want any help.
And you can't help somebody. You know what? That just goes back to you
Yeah.
can't help somebody until they want to help
Yeah,
themselves.
you guys are
Exactly.
ready.
You guys, at least this is the equipment. This is what you need. You use it for your own thing, but you know what? If you want to stay there, then that's your brunt to bear. It's not ours anymore because we kind of showed you different ways,
Right.
And we've shown things like that because really nobody's going to change themselves until they're ready to change, and that's with anything that we do in life.
You sure about that? But sometimes the people, bodies, agencies need to step in different situations.
Just snatch them out the house.
snatch them
Yeah,
out.
because it's not every time that you
Yes.
need help that they will help you.
No.
No, I don't need your help. I'm fine.
Go in there
sometimes
and get her
agencies
out
have
there.
to
But when you
step
take
in.
them back,
Because neighbors too are helps. They could help you.
Yeah, of
but they
course.
don't.
When you call the police to come and arrest your husband, or when the neighbors call the police to arrest your husband
Yeah.
that has been beating you up, they arrest the husband, he goes in, they release him after a couple of hours, he bribes his way out, whatever, he comes home.
And funny
And
enough,
then beat you twice the number
Yeah,
of
you're
beating
talking
that he
about
gave before.
the situation maybe
Right?
in Nigeria right now. But what I'm
Even
saying is,
here, it's not just in Nigeria, out here. The lady that the scenario you gave
Yeah.
was because she was ready and done with it. She was ready to come out of
come
it. That
out
was
of it,
why
yeah.
she passed that note. She was held in captive for 3 days. He was beaten on her for 3 days. After they took the man in, she opened her body for the cops and they saw
Yeah.
all the bruises and everything on her body. So she was ready. She was done and ready with the relationship. That's why that happen. There are a lot of people in the States right now, domestic violence, DV people who are in it. They're facing a lot of turmoil. You go to you report, you call the cops, he goes to jail, because out here is no joke. Nigeria and Africa.
Yeah.
But here, you
No
beat a
joke.
woman, they find you guilty, you're going to jail. When he comes back out, he's coming for you.
But that's why
A
they
lot
have
of them come with guns.
That's why I really love it that they have shelters.
Right.
Like they have shelters in different boroughs where you can just go and
That's right.
stay till they find you housing.
Right.
So, which is something that we don't really have in Africa right now. But if you think about having some safe spaces for people to be at, because you're gonna have to come back to the same house. How do you kind of foster that storm so you could find something to
It's
And
really
it's
sad to
society.
see this because I really used to think that this happened to poor people. Like
No.
this, like it's poverty. But it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody
Every
needs
walks
to.
of life.
We need to be our each other keeper. Watch
Right.
eyes. Look at the signs.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't know it, but you can tell that somebody's going through something.
Yeah.
So we have to look at all of
Let's
that
stop
to
this whole.
make your point. We have to go.
Let's stop this whole. It's not my business. I'm just going on my own. It's not my business.
It takes a
No,
village.
It takes a village. If you know what's happening with any couple or whatever, please help
Call.
out. Call.
I think back home in Africa, we need to invest more in counseling. Our churches, the religious factors, they need to invest more in counseling. When you as a body, you notice something going on with your church member or your mosque member, you see them, their body language has changed. Try to we invite them more. The man will not tell her not to go if you send a formal invite for her to come to the church. Invite her in, talk to her, and start to work with her and changing her mentality that it's okay. That it's not okay. It's not okay for you to be abused.
This is a true story.
At all.
There was a pastor that actually abused his wife.
Wow.
They were having sex, and then she was riding and she farted. And it was a problem. And
What, Charlie? Where did you go?
No, it's
This
true.
just went left.
That happened.
I
It
should've
happened.
run.
That happens.
so
though.
That
sorry.
happened. Yeah. She was right.
I think
She was
that's too far.
And it's like, how do you abuse your wife when she was giving you pleasure? She was on top of you, riding, and she farted. It happens. It's natural. So we have to.
Charlie,
we
you just have to bring
Because the
most
pum pum
bizarre
fart too, though.
extent.
It could have been a pum pum fart.
Maybe it
not
was
a good fart.
deadly. Maybe it was
It could have been a pum pum
deadly.
fart. There's a couple of farts.
You always have to bring the
ladies.
bizarre topics every
Yes.
time.
So riding, and then all he had was. And then I think it was by accident.
That's
Because
gross, though. That's
just
gross,
push, and then the lady's now walking
That's
around
gross.
with the
And
swollen
nuts.
and nuts.
When they ask you what
I will
happened to
literally
your
just
head,
stop the whole
now
thing
you-
and
so-
we'll have a redo it next time.
Somebody, things are happening, you guys are sitting in
Somebody-
America,
you know what,
things are
Papa?
happening in our country.
I'm just like
How
processing.
do you push your own
But
wife?
Charlie, where do you get this kind of stories
It's true.
from?
It's
They're too
happening
like-
to people.
Maybe he thought she scattered on him because he could have thought she went all the way on her. Because people do
But
that.
that's what I'm saying. Calm
Maybe she
down.
scattered.
Maybe we should have more patience for our wives. She didn't mean
And our
it.
husbands.
She didn't need to fart, right?
We
the
have
sex
to
was
go.
good.
Let us know in the comment section your thought on this topic. It's really serious. We're gonna leave the number.
Yes.
So if you know anybody that's going through that, reach out, okay?
Please.
We have to call. Please don't fart. This is MinaTV. You're watching the ABS show. Bye.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.